Those obscure sexual hints in Jin Ping Mei. As a representative work of the ancient Chinese naturalism school, Jin Ping Mei is not included in the four great classics. But it is probably more famous than the four great classics. This is due to the fact that the book is full of fragment. It is no exaggeration to say that many people read Jin Ping Mei with the mentality of reading an ancient pornographic book because of its huge reputation. However, as soon as most people open the book, they will find that this fan novel of water margin is far more delicate than the original novel. Especially the Ming Dynasty's slang in it is both vivid and incomprehensible. For example, what is the silver holder on Simon King's crotch that appears in Chapter 13? And what is the crazy thing Wan Po said to Simon King in Chapter 2? What do you mean, wait? We clearly know that these are all hints of lower three-way, but they are obscure and difficult to understand. Not only do they not make people blush and heartbeat, but instead, what is this? What is this? What the hell is this? As a popular novel, these dirty jokes should have been easy to understand at the time. But the book was written between the Long King and Wanli years of the Ming Dynasty, more than 400 years ago. The changes of the times have caused great changes in the living environment and language habits of people then and today. To understand these, it is better to start with the local translation of Jin Ping Mei, the Manchu version of Jin Ping Mei. The Manchu version of Jin Ping Mei was written in the 47th year of Kangxi 1708 AD, which is much closer to the time when the original book was written than today. The original appearance of some market slang and customs can be reproduced. Besides, the translator is both Manchu and Chinese. Hi, the original flavor is preserved to the greatest extent in translation. In this way, starting from the Manchu translation, you can know what the original Chinese text is saying. For example, the silver holder appeared for the first time in Chapter 13. Simon King climbed over the wall and returned from a tryst with Li Pinger, but was discovered by Pan Jinlian. When the latter questioned Simon King, the original text said, as he spoke, he pulled open his pants with one hand, only to see that his words were soft and fluffy, and the silver holder was still on it. In the original text, we can shyly guess that this silver holder should be a sex prop, but what the silver holder is unknown. In the Manchu translation, it is straightforwardly stated that this tuozi is muharan, which means ring. The silver holder is a silver ring that is placed on the darju root to add fun. Of course, we do not recommend children to imitate. Another example is the famous episode 27. Li Pinger whispers about the Jade Pavilion and Pan Jinlian is drunk and making noise in the Great Barber. When Simon King was flirting with Pan Jinlian, he asked her to call him Dada. What is this Dada? Could it be Dada Wolfont? Looking at the Manchu translation, it's really exciting. Hajiyama means dad, not only role-playing, but also heavy-duty role-playing. Therefore, when it comes to heavy taste, it is not a patent of today's people, and the ancients also made more concessions. Among them, the most eye-catching one is undoubtedly the crazy talk of Po Wan. In the second episode of Qiu Pan Niang's seduction behind the curtain and Lao Wan Po's tea house talk, Simon King wanted to hook up with Pan Jinlian, but because he had no connections, he went in and out of Wan Po's tea house next to Pan Jinlian's house, and asked Wan Po for information about Pan Jinlian next door. You would have expected that Mrs. Wang knew this already and answered directly, what he sells is pan-fried manzi. Dried meat wrapped in vegetable and meat dumplings, clam noodles, blanched, mildly spicy and crispy. Look at this. What the hell? Just like when I read the grip paper, I know every word when I take it apart, but I don't know what it means when you put it together. Generally speaking, the products sold are food, but I have never heard of any of them. Moreover, Wuhan University, Pan Jinlian's family obviously sells cooking cakes. Why did Wan Po say such a bunch of things? After Simon King heard this, he smiled and said, look at this fan woman, it's just the wind. What did Simon King understand? There is such an anecdote about this passage. In 1979, Mr. Jin Zhongshu visited the United States with a delegation from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences and had a discussion at the Department of Oriental Languages and Literatures at the University of California, Berkeley. Professor Zhang Hongyan asked the former for advice. Mr. Jin replied, "This is a joke. which is the so-called oxymoron in Western rhetoric, such as antique novel antiques, antique detonators. Like river leaks that have been steamed, there is no need to drag them. Spicy cakes cannot be both. There are two qualities, hotness and gentleness. Based on this, it can be concluded that it is a gossip of Wang Po, used to tease Jin King. And at the same time, it also indirectly depicts Pan Jinlian's abrupt dual character of positive and negative in water margin. Mr. Jin identified Mrs. Wang's words as an oxymoron, similar to today's high-level black jokes such as a fever of 52 degrees and still insisting on holding a concert and a comminuted fracture of both legs but still insisting on dancing. This explanation is indeed a very smooth explanation. But judging from the Manchu translation, another explanation can also be given. The Manchu translation of this passage is Gruhal Manzi Sirafan. Kataha Fafigis Futurim Yali Sogi Bidu Sindame Araha Jigjios, O Sir. Efan, Tavra Yali Sinda Hangs, Halv Winjafina Sukan Buluko Hodar Su. I Jurgi Jakakai. The most shocking thing in this sentence is the word Fef. Why? Because this word refers to a certain indescribable part of a woman. By the way, in the traditional crosstalk learning Manchu, there is a sentence in Manchu that says Fofo is a word. Since there is no word Fofo in Manchu, and considering that the vowel O is often pronounced as E in northern dialects, it shows that the senior crosstalkers may have been deceived. This dried meat dumpling stuffed with vegetables and meat or dried kataha pussy. Like dumplings stuffed with stuffing futurame yali sogi bidu sindame, a specific shape can be imagined by the reader. I can't describe it anymore, I just came out of the dark room. Other words are not much more elegant. Wow, clam noodles or noodles with clam meat tavr yali. All veteran chefs know what clams are metaphors for. Moreover, the word darsu comes from Mongolian, which means animal milk. The brewed wine. This taste will be understood by anyone who has read Xiao Huang's novel. With such a combination of form, color and taste, Jin King would be haunted if he didn't laugh. It can be seen from this that the gadgets and obscure sexual hints in Jin Ping Mei that people today seem to be confused about are actually similar to what the experienced drivers on the internet drive today. However, with the changes of the times, these pornographic jokes from the past have also been shrouded in a hazy veil, making future generations not only laugh but confused. However, it is a matter of opinion whether it is better to lift this veil or not, and whether these sexual hints should be more obscure or more straightforward in translation.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.